All right. Hi, guys, and welcome back to 234 in La Casa. Just wanted to thank everyone for all of their views and all of their comments. I really appreciate it. Love interacting with you all and having fun with you all as well through those comments. It gives me a little laugh every day. And so I just wanted to send out lots of positive vibes and energy, and thank you all for tuning in. I think we're going to do dinner in a dash tonight. I'm going to prepare salmon croquettes, yellow rice, broccoli, and from yesterday we still have some leftover macaroni and cheese, so we will add that on the menu as well. A couple of my kids don't really care for rice, so they can have macaroni and cheese instead. And then I'll make a dill sauce as well to go with the salmon croquettes. So I just wanted to remind you all to like, share, comment, and subscribe. The subscriptions really help my channel a lot. They are free. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and it helps the channel grow and helps other people see my content and get some information that may help them as well. So I really appreciate y'all, and I'll bring you all over and show you the ingredients for our dinner in a dash. All right, thanks. See you in a minute. All right, y'all. So tonight, like I said, salmon croquettes, broccoli, and yellow rice. So you're gonna need a box of yellow rice. I got the Zatarans. I do like this one, and it was on sale for $1.69 or whatever today. So I just went ahead and grabbed a box of this, and then you're gonna need a can of salmon, and you can use pink salmon, you can use red salmon. I think my mom prefers red. I like red too. My dad buys pink, and he brought me a couple cans of pink salmon. So we're gonna use the pink salmon for this recipe. And then some broccoli. So I use fresh broccoli and frozen. My kids love broccoli, but I'm gonna do fresh tonight. It was on sale as well. I think it was like 59 cents per bunch. So I got 3 bunches, and my kids prefer florets. So I'm gonna cut the stems off, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then you'll need butter and garlic for your broccoli. I'm gonna use some chicken base for the rice. And then for the dill sauce, you're gonna need garlic, onion powder, and you can use fresh garlic if you would like. Just make sure that you grate it, mince it, or what have you. I'm just gonna use garlic powder. You're gonna want fresh dill, which I have here, but you can also use dill that's in the jar, in the spice section of the store. But the dill that was fresh was like $2.50, and then the one in the seasoning aisle was like $7.99. So this was cheaper. So I just got the one for $2.49. And you're gonna need some sour cream and some mayo. So just your favorite mayonnaise. I like Blue Plate, but Hellman's or whatever other kind of mayo that you like Duke's or what have you. It's just whatever your favorite kind of mayonnaise is. You'll need that for the dill sauce, and then of course salt and pepper. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to bring you all over and show you all as I'm making things. Oh, and Tony Sacheries as well for your salmon. Okay. All right. So I'll bring you all over when I start cooking. Okay. All right, y'all. So I've got my broccoli here, and I know I was handling it earlier when I was showing you all the ingredients. So I did go ahead and wash it again. I didn't want anybody to think that, But anyway, so my kids like I said, love florets. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut the bottom part of this broccoli off, the stalk. And I'm going to put it in this bag over here. And I'm going to tie that bag up and take it out to the trash because broccoli does have a little bit of a smell. And so this is all I'm going to do. And then I'm going to take it over, of course, to the sink, and I'm going to wash it off. But of course, like I said, my kids do not like the stalks, so that's why I'm cutting mine so short. But you don't have to cut yours short like I'm doing. It's just so my kids love broccoli, and I want to make sure that they enjoy it, and so I'm just going to cut it short. Okay, and so this is all I'm going to do. And like I said, we can rinse this off at the sink, and I will meet you all back over here. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and do the base for the rice. So I'm going to be using the chicken base from Sam's. It's Member's Mark. And the Zatarans rice, yellow rice, calls for 2.5 cups of water. So I'm going to make a chicken broth to do my rice in. And so I'm going to use my chicken base instead of cooking my rice in water, because it says 2.5. So I've got about 2 3/4 cup of water right here that I'm going to add to this chicken base. And then I'm going to put it on the stove and let it cook. And and then I'll add my rice to it. But I'm going to let that chicken base break down and everything. And so, because you know, when it's cooking, you know, some of the water will steam off. So that's why I did 2 3/4 cups instead of the 2 1/2 cups that's called for on the yellow rice by Zatarain's. Okay, and so this is going to be our base for the rice. Now, if I wasn't doing dinner and a dash tonight, I would have sauteed some onion in butter and got it softened and everything, and then done my chicken base also, and then made the rice that way so that the onion would be really soft in the yellow rice. But I don't think I'm going to do that this evening. I may change my mind and add it to the base water. I don't know, but we'll see. But anyway, so I'm about to put this on the stove and put it on high, so it can go ahead and cook, and then I'll bring you all back and show you the salmon. All right, y'all. So this is probably going to be the most involved part of the dinner and a dash recipe this evening, is dealing with the salmon. So I've got it opened, and this is the first time I've ever used this brand of salmon before, so I'm not really familiar with it, and it already looks kind of different than what I'm used to, but so what you're gonna do is, it may be like more of a cheap brand. That's what I can tell, but anyway, so you're gonna start scraping off some of that skin, and you can just put it in the can. I'm putting it back in the can because I'm going to give it to my dog. But if you decide you don't want to keep it or whatever, you decided what you want to do with it. I know before I had a dog, I would put it back in the can and then put the can in a couple of Kroger sacks and take it on out to the trash. But anyway, and so you want to get those bones and things out of there, but of course I'm going to give that to my dog too. And you'll want to keep all the drippings and everything. You'll want to use that as moisture for your salmon croquettes. Yeah, I'm not used to this brand at all, but we do what we can. We work with what we can work with. Just get after it and do it. And some people will put onion and bell pepper in their salmon croquettes, and that's fine. That's how I grew up. That's how my mom made hers, with onion and bell pepper. But I don't make mine that way. So, but if you want to do that, be my guest. You want to dice up onion and bell pepper and put it in in your salmon meat. Okay. And of course, there's only going to be like 3 of us for dinner tonight, so that's why I'm just doing 1 can. If it was going to be more than that, then of course, and if you know the size of your family, so you can always do 2 cans, 3 cans, whatever your family, whatever size your family is. But I'm just going to do 1 can this evening because it's just 3, so 3 eating tonight. We'll see how these salmon croquettes come out. Like I said, I've never used this brand before, and when I open the can, I can tell a difference. It's not what I'm used to at all. So I don't know what the quality is going to end up being like with these. It's not like I said, it's not a brand I'm familiar with, and I didn't buy these. My dad brought this over here. And I don't mean that in it's not negative or anything. I'm just saying I've never really dealt with this brand, but hopefully it will come out good. I can just visually tell a difference between this and other brands that I've used. The quality is just different. Okay. All right. So wash my hands. I've got this all mixed together. And so what we're going to do is you just need 1 egg. So if you use however many cans you use, that's how many eggs you use. So 1 can of salmon, use 1 egg, and that's to help bind your salmon together so you can make a salmon croquette patty. And then all we're going to use all I use for my seasoning is Tony's, and so I don't have that much left in here. I don't know if you all can tell, but I'm just going to use what's left. I didn't realize I was about to run out, and it doesn't take a lot of Tony's, but I tend to put a lot of it in my salmon croquettes. And anybody that uses Tony's, you know that every time you use it, it's like you're about to sneeze. So, let's see. Okay, and I'm going to add just a little bit more Tony's. That's that Tony's going in my nose. Okay, and that's it. White meal has a little bit more, it's more powdery than yellow meal. I think I'm going to use that. Okay, so I'm going to use this white meal. See, yellow meal is more coarse than white. Okay, and I can tell that this salmon is a little bit more kind of liquidy. Like when it was sitting there, I saw kind of liquid building up. So that's why I added a little bit more meal than I normally would with the other brands that I use. I don't use a whole lot of meal, just enough to kind of bind together. And so, but I added just a little bit more than what I normally did. So I think I probably added about a cup of meal to this 1 can of salmon. If it had been a different kind of canned salmon than this, I probably would have added less than a cup. But it was about half a cup, I think, or maybe 1/3 of a cup. All right, y'all, so this chicken base, it's ready. I'm going to stir it up a little bit so you can kind of see, and it's boiling. And so, yeah, so the base is all dissolved, and it's ready. So I'm going to go ahead and add my rice. I'm going to turn it up some since I took the lid off so it can kind of retain that heat. And I'm going to go ahead and open up this box. And this is going to need to simmer for about 25 minutes after I've added the rice. So that's why I'm going to do this first. It doesn't take long for the salmon croquettes to fry, and it doesn't take long for the broccoli either. So that's why I started with the rice instead of anything else. And that's it. I've got it added. I didn't put any diced onion in here. I just did the chicken base. And I'm going to stir it up just a little bit, and I'm going to put the lid back on here. And of course, this yellow rice does have comes with its own seasonings, but I did decide to do mine in chicken base. You can use chicken broth, or you can just use plain water if that's what you would like to, instead of using the chicken base or the chicken broth. But I just think adding chicken broth to rice, chicken base, what have you, to rice, it gives it a depth of flavor that just plain water just does not quite capture. So we're going to let this cook for about 25 minutes, okay? All right, and I'll bring y'all back in just a second. All right, y'all, so I've got this pot here. I've got I have about 1/4, the pot. I've added water to this pot about 1/4 of a way up, and this is what I'm going to cook the broccoli in. And I think I'm going to take a little bit of that water out of there and then make it more of like an eighth of the way up, because I don't like to cook my broccoli in a whole lot of water. I like to kind of saute it. And so I've got that water in there, and I'm going to go ahead and add the florets. And I've got those florets rinsed off and everything. Okay, so now the broccoli is in that pot. And to that, I'm going to add some garlic and some butter. And so I'm going to put, since I have this amount of broccoli, about 1/2 stick of butter in here. And I'm going to put some garlic in here, and then salt and pepper, and that's going to be it. So you're just going to sprinkle that garlic in there, and that's going to give you garlic butter broccoli, which my kids really enjoy. I know my husband, sometimes he would want broccoli and cheese, and so I would make him a separate something with broccoli, you know, because he wanted broccoli and cheese. So I'd make that for him, and then do the kids either garlic broccoli. I do like a soy sauce broccoli that's got garlic and butter and soy sauce. My brother would really enjoy that as well when I would make it. But whatever everybody liked, whatever their taste was, I'd always try to make whatever people wanted. You want broccoli and cheese? Okay, I'll get that. You want the, whatever. It's just what it is. And I use vegetable shortening or Crisco when I fry. So I was at Walmart. This was the cheapest, so that's what I got. So I'm going to add some shortening in here to get ready to fry the salmon croquettes. And you just use whatever oil that you like. I just prefer shortening. It's cleaner to me, and it's cheaper than peanut oil at this time. So it has a clean fry taste. All right, y'all. So this is ready to be fried. My broccoli is looking, I don't know if you all can see it or not, but it looks so good. I love fresh broccoli. It looks really, really good. I'm going to let it cook some more. Shake it around a little bit and get, it doesn't take much for broccoli to cook on down. So I think 3 bunches was the perfect amount. Just got done washing my hands. So I'm going to go ahead and make our salmon croquette patties. And I make mine small because I have kids. You do not have to make yours this small, okay? It's just because I have kids and it's more of like bite size for them, or, 2 bites or whatever. And that kind of has the appearance of more. And they're so little. So the next one. Okay. And like I said, you can make them bigger. I know a lot of people make them humongous. So it's just whatever you like, whatever fits your family, or if you're cooking for yourself or for guests or whatever. It's just whatever you want. Just know I'm cooking mine small, like I said, because of my kids. That's the only reason why. And I'm about to turn it up a little bit higher, because adding that salmon to the grease, it brings the temperature down. And I tend not to crowd my skillet with these, because you got to be able to have some room to turn them over. Let me go wash my hands. And see, there you go. That's what they look like. And I'll flip another one so y'all can see. And I'll probably flip one more so y'all can see too. And then I'll bring y'all back when they're done. And I also need to show y'all how to make the dill sauce. So that's another one. See, I love mine like that. Oh my gosh. That looks so good. And you can tell, you can see the brown around the edges at the bottom. And so that kind of indicates to you that it's ready to flip. All right, so there we go. And so I'll bring you all back in just a second and show you the dill sauce. All right, so we're going to do the dill sauce. And all you're going to need is 1/4 cup of sour cream. And this is full fat sour cream. If you use light, that's fine. I've never had it with light, but it's whatever you choose. And then 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. And like I said, I'm using blue plates. And I'm going to go ahead and mix that mayonnaise and the sour cream together. Go on and get that combined. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of lemon. Now you can add as much lemon as you would like. Some people like more of a lemony flavor. I do. I really like that, especially with the fish, and salmon croquettes is a fish. So, and then you're going to add about a half a teaspoon of onion powder. But of course you can do it to taste. You may just want 1/4 teaspoon. You may want a teaspoon. It's just whatever you like. Okay. And your garlic, about a half of a teaspoon or more, if that's what you would like. And like I said, you can use fresh garlic instead of the granulated if that's what you would prefer. Okay, I'm just going to use powdered garlic just for time purposes. Okay. And I like a lot of garlic, so I think that was probably more of like 3/4 of a teaspoon. Okay, and that's it. And now you're going to add in your dill. I've got that already chopped up. Okay. And that is about a half a teaspoon. I'm sorry, a teaspoon of dill. Okay. Okay, all right, y'all. So I've got my plate, and I've already tasted the broccoli off camera. It's really good. But here it is, if you all can see. The garlic and butter. It's almost like the broccoli at Cheddar's. If you've ever had their broccoli, it's like that. The rice is fantastic. The chicken base brings out a depth of flavor. It's really, really good. I'm gonna taste the salmon croquette. And I can already tell I'm probably not gonna like it, but let me taste it. Dill sauce is good. Now, I'll tell you what I don't like about it, and I'll tell you what brand this is too. Let me see. This is the Kroger brand. It's got a great crunch. I can taste my seasoning, you know, the Tony Chachere's, that's fine. It's the texture of the salmon. It's just a different, they say it's pink, but it looks more like a tan color when it comes out of the can. I don't know if you could see that. And it has more of a, I don't know how to, not grainy, of a chewy, maybe not chewy, but it's just, it's like it's not as, I'm trying to think of a word to describe it. But you know, red salmon has more of a bite to it, and so does pink. Red it has more of a flavor to it, a natural flavor, red salmon, and pink doesn't have quite as much flavor as red does, but they both have a bite, I'll put it that way. And this kind of doesn't have a bite to it. It's very light. It's more of like a light texture. So if you enjoy, it puts me in the mind of maybe mackerel in a sense, maybe, you know, if that can give you something to kind of compare it to. So I prefer like Honey Boy, or I think it's like Red, maybe not Red Door, but it's a company in a black can that does a red salmon. I prefer that. Okay, like I was saying, it has more of like a flavor of maybe mackerel, like that kind of texture. But anyway, just so you know, about that particular brand of salmon croquette. So anyway, I really enjoyed cooking with you all this evening on Dinner and a Dash, and I hope that you all will join me here again soon. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And in the comments, let me know what kind of salmon you enjoy, if there's a certain brand that you enjoy, or if you like pink or you like red, and just kind of let me know what your feeling is and how you like your broccoli and different rices and things. And I'll look to see you all back here and connect with you all very soon. I love you guys. You all take care. Have a fabulous day, and I'll see you all back here at 234 in La Casa tomorrow. Bye-bye.